Did you know that Neptune was discovered using math? Neptune is the only planet whose existence was predicted through mathematical calculations before it was seen through a telescope. In the 19th century, astronomers noticed that Uranus's orbit didn't match expectations, and they hypothesized that this was caused by the gravitational pull of an unknown planet. After calculations and extensive observation, Neptune was discovered, marking a triumph of science. This fact shows how powerful math is. It helped discover an entire planet long before it could be seen. Why is there a museum dedicated to pasta in Italy? Italy is the land of pasta, so it's no surprise that they have a museum devoted to this culinary masterpiece. In Rome, you can visit the Pasta Museum, where you'll find all kinds of pasta varieties, pasta-making machines, and even historic pasta. This place is for true carbohydrate enthusiasts, where you can learn about the history of creating spaghetti, fettuccine, and other types of pasta that Italians have been making for hundreds of years. Surprisingly, there are also humorous exhibits, like pasta shaped like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Honey Guide, the bird that will help you find honey if you share it. Imagine being lost in the African wilderness searching for food. In this case, you'd need one special bird, the honey guide. This unique bird species can literally talk to you and lead you to beehives. But there's a catch. When the honey guide helps you find honey, it expects you to share it. If you don't, the next time the bird may lead you not to honey, but to something dangerous, like a venomous snake. So it's better not to be greedy. This is an example of true partnership between humans and nature. Did you know you might have been answering the phone with ahoy? In the early days of the telephone, when Alexander Graham Bell introduced his invention, he suggested using ahoy as a greeting when answering calls. Inspired by nautical language, Bell thought it would be a perfect fit for the new way of communicating. Imagine if his idea caught on. We would all be saying ahoy every time we picked up the phone. However, Thomas Edison suggested the word hello, and it became the standard, leaving ahoy as a quirky piece of history. Is it possible? The moon is gradually drifting away from Earth. The moon is slowly but surely moving away from Earth at a rate of 3.8 centimeters per year. This process is caused by tidal forces between Earth and the moon, which slow Earth's rotation and gradually widen the moon's orbit. This cosmic waltz has been going on for billions of years. Interestingly, in the distant future, the moon may become so far away that it will no longer appear as bright from Earth as it does now. Caffeine. Energy or illusion? Caffeine is the most popular psychoactive substance in the world, but it doesn't actually give you energy. Instead, it blocks adenosine receptors in the brain, preventing them from signaling tiredness. It's a kind of trick that makes your brain feel alert and awake. What's even more fascinating is that caffeine's molecular structure is similar to that of adenosine, allowing it to take the place of this neurotransmitter. This clever process helps us wake up in the morning and stay alert throughout the day. Now imagine, it's all just a game of chemistry. Did you know Yellowstone is the world's first national park? Yellowstone National Park, established in 1872, was the first national park in the world. Located mostly in Wyoming, USA, it is a true natural wonder. The park is famous for its geysers, hot springs, and wildlife, and it sits atop a massive volcanic caldera. This makes it not only a beautiful, but geologically unique place on the planet. Yellowstone is Mother Nature's masterpiece, attracting millions of visitors each year. Amazing, but on Venus, it rains sulfuric acid. Imagine a planet where it rains. But instead of water, drops of sulfuric acid fall from the sky. That's exactly what happens on Venus. In its atmosphere, clouds are composed of sulfuric acid, and when it rains, the drops evaporate before reaching the surface due to extremely high temperatures, which can reach up to 470 degrees Celsius. This is one of the reasons Venus is considered one of the most hostile planets for life in our solar system. If we ever explore Venus, this hellish atmosphere would be a serious challenge for future technology. Is it possible that giraffes only sleep 30 minutes a day? These incredible animals can survive on minimal sleep. Giraffes sleep for only about 30 minutes a day, and they even do it standing up. They have a special mechanism that allows them to rest in short intervals of a few minutes to avoid predators. With such long legs, they can quickly spot approaching danger. What makes proboscis monkeys so special in Brunei? These fascinating creatures are truly a sight to behold. Found primarily in the lush mangrove forests, riverbanks, and tropical rainforests of Brunei, especially within the stunning Ulu Temburong National Park, proboscis monkeys are like something out of a storybook. With their distinctive long noses and unique social behaviors, they have earned a special place in the hearts of wildlife enthusiasts and locals alike. This national park is not just any nature reserve, it's a crucial conservation area that protects a variety of unique wildlife, with the proboscis monkey often hailed as its main attraction. Brunei's government takes conservation seriously, implementing strict measures to shield these remarkable monkeys and their habitats from threats like deforestation and hunting. Thanks to these efforts, visitors to Ulu Temburong can witness these playful primates swinging through the trees, all while supporting initiatives that ensure their survival and the health of their rainforest home. Seeing these monkeys in their natural environment is not just an adventure, it's a chance to appreciate the beauty of biodiversity. Did you know female Komodo dragons can have babies alone? This fascinating ability is known as parthenogenesis, where a female can reproduce without needing a male. It's like a superpower in the animal kingdom. In the case of the Komodo dragon, when a female uses this method, she always produces male offspring. Imagine that! While this might seem strange, it actually helps the species survive in situations where finding a mate might be tough, such as isolated environments. These tough reptiles are the largest living lizards and can be found only in certain parts of Indonesia. The process of parthenogenesis lets a female dragon ensure that her genes carry on, even if she can't find a partner. However, it's not the most common route for reproduction because having genetic diversity usually leads to healthier populations. Still, it's a remarkable example of how nature adapts and thrives in unique ways. So next time you think about the wonders of wildlife, remember the incredible female Komodo dragon and her ability to create life all on her own. Can you imagine that the highest temperature in the USA was recorded in California's Death Valley at 56 degrees? It's one of the hottest and driest regions on the planet, where living conditions are extremely harsh. In contrast, the lowest temperature in the USA was recorded in Alaska at -60. These temperature extremes illustrate the incredible climate diversity in the country, from the scorching heat of deserts to the deadly cold of the northern latitudes. Is it really possible that birds sleep in flight? It sounds like science fiction, but some birds, like frigate birds and swifts, can literally sleep while flying. Researchers used tiny EEG sensors to monitor brain activity and discovered that these birds use unihemispheric slow-wave sleep, resting one side of the brain while the other stays awake. This unique ability allows them to soar across oceans for days or weeks without landing. They can stay alert enough to navigate, avoid obstacles, and maintain balance, all while giving their brains periodic rest. This adaptation is crucial for species that can't land safely on water or lack feeding spots mid-journey. It's an incredible evolutionary response to the challenge of long-distance migration. These birds are the only known vertebrates capable of combining motion and sleep so seamlessly, proving that nature finds rest, even in mid-air. Is it really true that whales have their own songs? Absolutely. Humpback whales are not just massive creatures swimming in the ocean, they're also talented singers. Each male humpback has a unique song that it performs during breeding season, and these tunes can actually evolve over time. Imagine a community of musicians all inspired by one another. In a given region, the males often share similar melodies, creating a kind of musical tradition. As time goes on, these songs can change, adopting new themes and notes while dropping others, much like popular music trends. Scientists believe that this happens because whales interact with each other, learning from one another's melodies. The result is a dynamic song that might sound totally different from one year to the next. Researchers have been documenting these songs for decades, and every new chorus can reveal exciting clues about whale behavior and communication patterns. So next time you think of whales, remember, they're not just swimming under the waves. They're also composing the ocean's symphony. Can you imagine that the Beatles couldn't read music? One of the most influential bands in history, the Beatles never learned to read sheet music. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr created their legendary melodies and songs purely by ear, relying on their musical intuition. Despite this, they gave the world hit after hit, forever changing the course of musical history. This fact breaks the stereotype that to create great music, one must be a professional musician who reads music. Their exceptional creative talent and improvisational ability prove that passion and talent matter more than technical skills. Can you imagine a snowflake the size of a plate? In 1887, the largest snowflake ever recorded fell in Montana. It was 15 inches wide and 8 inches thick. That's the size of a dinner plate. Imagine being under such a snowstorm. This amazing event went down in meteorological history as the most unusual snow phenomenon. So next time you complain about the snow, think, it could have been much bigger and more impressive. It turns out Sudan has more pyramids than Egypt. When we think of pyramids, Egypt is the first place that comes to mind. But here's a surprising fact. Sudan actually has more pyramids than Egypt. Egypt has about 138 pyramids, while Sudan boasts a whopping 255. These ancient structures, though less famous, represent a treasure trove of history yet to be discovered. If you love pyramids and ancient history, Sudan could be your next big adventure. Why do cat whiskers really resemble antennas? Whiskers, technically called vibrissae, are far more than decorative features on a cat's face. These thick, stiff hairs are deeply embedded in nerve-rich follicles, making them ultra-sensitive to touch, airflow, and vibration. Found not only on the muzzle but also above the eyes, on the jaw, and even on the paws, whiskers help cats navigate tight spaces, hunt in darkness, and judge distances before leaping. They detect air currents around objects, giving cats a kind of sixth sense that lets them see with touch. When stalking prey, whiskers track the slightest movements, helping cats pinpoint the exact location of a target. During a jump, they act like gyroscopic sensors, helping with last-second mid-air corrections. In essence, whiskers are natural motion detectors and navigation tools, biological radar systems that turn every cat into a precision-controlled predator. The royal game of is the oldest board game, over 4,000 years old. This ancient game was discovered during excavations in Mesopotamia and dates back to around 2600 BCE. Played by two players on a 20-square board, the game involved strategic moves with pieces that maneuvered around obstacles. It had a major influence on the development of future board games, demonstrating the strategic thinking of ancient civilizations. Just imagine how deep-rooted our love for games really is. Sharks can smell a drop of blood from miles away. Sharks have one of the most impressive senses of smell in the animal kingdom. They can detect blood in a ratio of 1 part per million of water, allowing them to track their prey from great distances. This ability makes sharks some of the most dangerous predators in the ocean. Their olfactory system is so developed that they can detect even the slightest changes in the chemical composition of water. Sharks not only track prey, but can also avoid potential threats, making them true masters of survival. This incredible sense of smell enables them to hunt effectively, even in the deepest, darkest waters. So if you find yourself in the ocean with a cut, beware. A shark could sense it from miles away. Did you know that turtles can breathe through their butts? Yes, you heard that right. Turtles, especially species like the Fitzroy River turtle, can breathe through their cloaca, the opening they use for reproduction and waste excretion. This amazing ability helps turtles absorb oxygen from the water, allowing them to stay underwater for long periods. This process is called cloacal respiration, and it's yet another example of how unique and diverse survival methods are in the animal kingdom. So next time you see a turtle, remember that it's a true master of breathing from both ends. Why do fawns have no scent? When fawns are born, they have no scent. This adaptation helps them remain unnoticed by nearby predators like wolves and bears. This allows young deer to lie hidden in the grass, undetected due to their invisible presence. The mother deer returns only to feed them and then leaves again, avoiding drawing attention to her offspring. This survival strategy makes fawns true masters of camouflage in the wild. The United States has the highest incarceration rate in the world. In 2012, there were 730 imprisoned individuals for every 100,000 Americans, placing the country at the top in terms of prisoners per capita. The justice system in the U.S. is uniquely strict, and although there have been several reforms in recent decades, issues such as prison overcrowding, poor rehabilitation quality, and significant racial disparities in the inmate population continue to persist. The high crime rate and large number of prisoners have repeatedly been topics of public debate and academic research. This prompts the government to seek ways to improve the justice system and find solutions to reduce the prison population in the future. The story of the word dude, from insult to friendly greeting. The word dude first appeared in the 1800s as a derogatory term for men who were overly concerned with fashion. But over time, its meaning shifted, and by the mid-20th century, it became a casual term for addressing friends or even strangers. Today, dude is a friendly word that can refer to almost anyone and has become a staple of everyday slang. Who would have thought that a word that started as an insult would end up as a friendly greeting? How iron buttocks help Samsung test phone durability. Have you ever wondered how smartphone manufacturers test the durability of their devices? Samsung uses a rather unusual method to test their phones. They created a special robot shaped like human buttocks that sits on phones to simulate the pressure people exert when they sit with their phones in their back pockets. The robot even wears jeans to make the test as realistic as possible. This innovative testing helps the company ensure that their devices can withstand everyday challenges and won't break under pressure. Interestingly, bees build homes out of their own wax. Deep inside every hive lies one of nature's most extraordinary architectural wonders, the honeycomb. Each cell is a perfect hexagon, an efficient, stable shape that maximizes space while minimizing material. But this structure isn't built with tools. It's made entirely from wax secreted by the bees themselves. Worker bees consume honey, convert it into wax through specialized abdominal glands, and use their mandibles to mold it. It takes about 1 kilogram of wax to build 100,000 hexagonal cells, enough to store honey, pollen, and developing larvae. But the honeycomb is more than storage. It maintains a stable internal climate of around 35 degrees Celsius and 60% humidity, regulated by fanning bees and the comb's design. Antibacterial enzymes within the wax protect the hive from mold and pathogens. These waxen cities are biological marvels, engineered by instinct, perfected by generations, and unrivaled by even human architecture in terms of precision and function. Most people don't know this, but immigrants boost our economy. Foreign-born workers account for nearly 18% of the U.S. labor force, and their contributions are vital to our nation's success. These individuals bring a variety of skills and experiences that enhance creativity and drive innovation in multiple fields. For instance, think about the groundbreaking companies that started with immigrant founders, like Google and Tesla. In addition to starting businesses, immigrant workers fill critical roles in sectors like healthcare, engineering, and technology, areas that are essential for maintaining and growing our economy. Their diverse perspectives lead to new ideas and solutions, making the workplace more dynamic and responsive to change. Moreover, as these workers earn wages and pay taxes, they contribute to local economies, fund public services, and support community development. So next time you see a product or service that seems innovative, remember that foreign-born individuals might have played a significant role in its creation. Isn't it fascinating how they shape our world? Guess what record twin births just set? It turns out that the longest time between the births of twins is a whopping 87 days. This extraordinary case involved a set of twins born in different years, which certainly sounds like something out of a movie. In 2012, a mother in Ireland gave birth to her first twin, a girl named Amy, who arrived prematurely at just 25 weeks. Sadly, her twin brother, who was still developing in the womb, needed more time to grow and thrive. The doctors decided to wait before delivering him to ensure he was as healthy as possible. Finally, 87 days later, baby Finn was born, marking a unique milestone in the world of sibling births. Most twins come into the world within minutes of each other, making Finn's arrival feel like a magical twist of fate. Can you imagine being so far apart in age from your twin? This remarkable birth story not only highlights the wonders of modern medicine, but also showcases the incredible resilience of both mothers and their babies. Believe it or not, penguins coat themselves with a water-repellent layer. Braving the brutal cold of Antarctic waters, penguins rely on more than just fat for survival. They wear a built-in waterproof suit. At the base of their tail lies a uripygial gland that secretes a thick, oily substance. Penguins spread this oil across their feathers, using their beaks during grooming. The result? A perfectly sealed outer coat that locks in body heat and keeps icy water out. This not only helps them dive to great depths, but also lets them swim for hours without becoming waterlogged. Without this daily oiling, penguins would lose heat at catastrophic rates, up to 30% of their body warmth in just a minute. The waterproof barrier also increases buoyancy and streamlines their form, allowing smooth gliding through frigid seas. Their ability to coat themselves is not a luxury. It's a life-saving adaptation, crucial for one of Earth's harshest environments. Did you know there's a banana you shouldn't eat? In Hawaii, a unique type of banana called the plantain banana grows, which despite its appetizing appearance, is not meant to be eaten. It tastes very bitter, somewhat like a potato. Locals use it for weaving traditional crafts rather than food. Tourists are often surprised by these bananas, but the locals are quick to warn, don't try eating them. Could a cuckoo really deceive other birds? The cuckoo is a master manipulator of the avian world. Rather than build its own nest, it lays eggs in those of other bird species, a behavior known as brood parasitism. But this isn't a haphazard trick. The female cuckoo carefully selects a host whose eggs resemble her own, often mimicking the color, size, and speckle patterns with near-perfect accuracy. Once laid, the cuckoo chick usually hatches first and instinctively pushes the host's eggs or chicks out of the nest. The unsuspecting foster parents, driven by instinct, feed the fast-growing imposter without recognizing the deception. This frees the cuckoo from parental duties, allowing it to invest energy in laying more eggs across multiple nests. It's a strategy that requires cunning, precision, and evolutionary finesse, proof that survival isn't always about brute strength, but sometimes about outsmarting your neighbors. Why do seahorses dance before mating? Seahorses perform entire rituals, dancing with their partners to form a special bond before raising offspring. These dances can last for hours, and during them, pairs swim in sync, change colors, and even hold each other by the tails. It's not just a dance, it's a true expression of affection that helps strengthen the bond between partners. In the underwater world, these dances surprise with their grace and tenderness. Wow, sunflowers follow the sun. Sunflowers are not just stunning flowers. Young sunflowers are natural sun trackers. This phenomenon, called heliotropism, allows them to turn their heads throughout the day to follow the sun's movement from east to west. This remarkable ability helps sunflowers optimize sunlight absorption for photosynthesis, boosting their growth. As they mature, they stop following the sun and permanently face east. This fascinating behavior illustrates how plants adapt to their environment to thrive. Have you ever wondered that in Italy there is an exploding vegetable garden? In the Italian village of Trevestare, there is an astonishing phenomenon. Plants in local vegetable gardens can literally explode under certain weather conditions. This happens due to the accumulation of gas in the soil, which with sudden changes in pressure or temperature can cause small bursts. The locals call this phenomenon the Garden of Fire. Science does not yet have a clear explanation, but it has become a part of local culture and a tourist attraction. Hard to believe, but the sun makes noise, and we can hear it. Although space is silent in the usual sense, scientists have found a way to hear the sun using special instruments. The sound of the sun is produced by vibrations on its surface and inner layers, caused by thermal processes. Scientists have converted these vibrations into sounds that we can hear. If you could listen to the sun, it would sound like a low, humming noise. These solar vibrations help astrophysicists study the sun's internal structure, predict solar flares, and understand the processes happening in its core. Did you know that Tokyo has buildings that can grow? Tokyo has a construction technology that allows buildings to increase in height even after completion. The foundation is reinforced so that additional floors can be added later. This saves space in the metropolis and adapts to changing demands. For example, the Mizushima skyscraper was built with 14 floors, but later grew to 20. How can mysterious desert music frighten even the bravest? In the Sahara and other large sand deserts, you can hear an extraordinary sound often called the singing sands. When the wind blows over the surface of the dunes, the sand emits a deep hum as if an orchestra is playing an invisible symphony. This sound can be so powerful that it can be heard for miles. Some researchers think the sound is caused by the sand moving across the slopes, while local tribes believe it is the voices of desert spirits guarding their lands. Have you heard about Indonesia's volcanoes? This stunning archipelago isn't just a tropical paradise, it's also home to the most active volcanoes in the world. With over 130 active volcanoes and more than 70 with historic eruptions, Indonesia is a hotbed for geological activity. Among these giants, Mount Merapi on Java stands out as one of the world's most active volcanoes, continuously shaping the landscape and impacting the lives of those nearby. Then there's Mount Krakatoa, infamous for its monumental eruption in 1883, which was a cataclysmic event that created massive tsunamis and changed weather patterns worldwide. These powerful natural features not only create breathtaking scenery, but also remind us of Earth's dynamic nature. The people in volcanic regions have learned to coexist with these natural wonders, developing a deep respect for their power. They often celebrate the rich soils that the volcanic ash provides, which helps support vibrant agriculture. So the next time you think of Indonesia, remember that beneath its beauty lies a world of volcanic energy. Did you know that ostriches lay giant eggs? Ostrich eggs are the largest of any living land animal, each weighing up to 2 kilograms and equivalent in volume to nearly 24 chicken eggs. Their shells, up to 3 millimeters thick, are marvels of nature, strong enough to support the weight of an adult human without cracking. Ostriches lay their eggs in communal nests, shallow pits scraped into the ground where multiple females contribute to the clutch. A dominant female and the male take turns incubating the eggs, using sand and feathers to regulate temperature during the 42-day development cycle. The yolk is rich and voluminous, providing enough nutrients for the fast-growing chick to break through the thick shell using a special temporary beak tooth. These eggs are not just reproductive miracles. They've been used historically as water canteens, painting canvases, and even instruments of study in embryology and paleontology. Is it true that you can see kangaroos on the streets in Australia? Absolutely true. In some Australian cities, there are so many kangaroos that they hop around the streets like regular pedestrians. They're especially common in Canberra, where kangaroos even cause traffic jams. Locals are used to this sight, but it's always a surprise for tourists. In these cities, there are even special signs warning drivers about tail-walking pedestrians. Did you know that about 4% of the world's population are U.S. citizens? This means that out of 8 billion people globally, approximately 330 million are American citizens. This makes the country one of the most influential on the world stage, despite its relatively small population compared to China or India. The U.S. continues to attract people from around the globe, enhancing its economic and cultural influence on a global scale. Johnny Appleseed, the man who planted apples not for food. Many of us have heard the legend of Johnny Appleseed, whose real name was John Chapman. This famous gardener didn't just plant apple trees across America. His goal was much more interesting. He planted trees not for the apples to be eaten, but to produce cider. In the early 19th century, apples were mainly used to make this alcoholic drink, and Johnny Appleseed became a hero among cider lovers. Knowing this story, each glass of apple cider will feel a bit more historical. Surprisingly, fireflies put on a nightly fireworks display. As dusk falls, forests and meadows transform into twinkling theaters, where fireflies orchestrate luminous performances. This glow is not magic. It's bioluminescence powered by luciferin, an enzyme called luciferase, and oxygen. The result is a chemical reaction that emits light with nearly 100% energy efficiency. No heat, just cold illumination. Each firefly species has its own flashing code, a precise rhythm used to attract mates or warn predators. In some tropical areas, thousands of males synchronize their flashes in perfect unison, forming glowing waves across treetops. Females respond to specific timing cues, selecting their mate based on the clarity and rhythm of his light show. Scientists study this phenomenon to create sustainable light sources and biosensors for detecting disease. In the tiny body of a firefly lies a secret to both natural beauty and cutting-edge technology. Is it really possible that in Spain there is an underground city without a single house above ground? In the town of Setenil de las Bodegas, Spain, people live directly under the rocks with their homes built into caves hidden beneath the earth. This town has existed for hundreds of years, and its streets are literally covered with giant rock slabs, creating the feeling of an underground world. The rock houses protect residents from summer heat and winter cold. Setenil de las Bodegas is so unique that tourists from all over the world come to see how life can exist in such a hidden and mysterious place. Is it possible there is a lake in Tanzania where no one swims? Lake Natron, located near the border with Kenya, is known for its extremely high salinity and alkalinity, which turns any animal that ends up in its waters into a mummy. Birds and fish caught in the lake literally turn to stone due to chemical reactions. Although it looks eerie, the lake's stunning red color draws tourists and photographers. Despite its beauty, locals and travelers never dare to venture into its dangerous waters. Did you know there's a glacier on Pluto the size of Texas and Oklahoma combined? It turns out that on the distant dwarf planet Pluto, there's a massive glacier called Sputnik Planitia. This glacier covers an area the size of Texas and Oklahoma combined. Amazingly, this glacier is made of nitrogen ice, not water, as it would be on Earth. At the center of this region lies a heart-shaped feature made of frozen nitrogen that slowly flows, similar to glaciers on Earth. This fascinating landscape is just one of Pluto's mysteries that continue to amaze scientists. Each planet in our solar system is truly unique. Butterflies taste with their feet. Butterflies travel the world not just by flying, but by walking on their food. They have taste receptors located right on their feet, giving them a sort of built-in gourmet GPS. These special sensors allow butterflies to quickly find the perfect leaves to lay their eggs. Imagine living in a world where you don't taste with your mouth, but with your feet. Butterflies live in that curious reality every day. Is it true that your DNA contains about 3 billion base pairs? Inside each of your cells, your DNA forms a complex structure made up of roughly 3 billion base pairs. If stretched out, a single DNA molecule would be over 1 meter long. All these tiny components work together to determine your physical traits and even some aspects of your behavior. It's like a detailed instruction manual for building you, stored in every single cell. Who would have thought that the wolverine is a force of nature in miniature? Weighing only 10 to 25 kg, the wolverine might seem unimposing, but it has the heart and the bite of a giant. Its jaws are strong enough to crush frozen bones, and its body is designed for relentless endurance across vast snowy wilderness. Dense fur and subcutaneous fat protect it from cold, while sharp claws and muscular limbs let it scale cliffs and dig into carcasses. Wolverines can smell carrion under meters of snow and travel 40 kilometers a day to reach it. They're known to fight off wolves and bears for food, despite being a fraction of their size. Their aggression, stamina, and solitary boldness have earned them a legendary reputation in indigenous folklore and wildlife biology alike. In essence, the wolverine is not just fierce, it's nature's embodiment of determination, grit, and raw survival power. Did you know that American strength lies not only in its economy, but also in its geography? Imagine the United States as a country whose geography is perfectly suited for global dominance. Unlike many nations that must fight for every square inch of land, Americans can control two oceans due to their unique position. This makes the U.S. invulnerable to invasions and allows dominance in global trade. How have they leveraged this advantage? The U.S. has used its geography to establish strategically important maritime routes and exploit them to its benefit. For instance, by utilizing the seaway across two oceans, they control a significant portion of world trade. Contrary to everything, dark matter is actually invisible. Dark matter doesn't interact with light, so it cannot be seen directly. However, scientists know about its existence through indirect signs. It affects the rotation speed of galaxies and bends light around them. This mysterious substance makes up more than 80% of the universe's mass, but it remains one of the biggest mysteries of modern space science. Believe it or not, the United States managed to connect two oceans. Have you ever thought about how the U.S. managed to connect two oceans and control a critical global trade route? In fact, at the beginning of the 20th century, they waged war against Spain to acquire strategically important territories and construct the Panama Canal. This canal is not just a vital transportation artery, it is also a means of ensuring military and trade power across both oceans. The canal became a key element in U.S. national security and opened up opportunities for trade and military control in the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. Did you know the hummingbird is the smallest bird in the world? The hummingbird, found in Cuba and nearby islands, is the world's smallest bird. The smallest species of hummingbird measures only 5 centimeters in length and weighs around 2 grams. But don't let its size fool you. This tiny bird is a real powerhouse. It can beat its wings up to 200 times per second, making it one of the fastest creatures in nature. This incredible little wonder can hover in place, feeding on flower nectar. Why could ancient Romans drink poisoned wine without fearing for their lives? In ancient Rome, people believed that mixing wine with honey and certain herbs would turn it into an antidote. This drink, called Mithridatium, was so popular that everyone, from peasants to emperors, drank it. It was said to protect against all kinds of poisons, and legend has it that King Mithridates VI took it daily to become immune to poisons. Many Romans believed it worked. When someone tried to poison him, he survived. So for ancient Romans, a night with poisoned wine wasn't that scary. Can you imagine there's a bridge in Sweden that goes underwater? In Sweden, there is a unique bridge called the Öresund Bridge, which connects the country to Denmark. This bridge suddenly ends and dives underwater, turning into a tunnel. This engineering marvel was designed to avoid interfering with sea traffic. Driving from Sweden to Denmark gives the feeling that you're diving into the sea right in your car, adding an exciting element to the journey. Is it possible that earthworms can regenerate their bodies? Yes, it's true. If an earthworm loses part of its body, it can regenerate the lost segment. However, contrary to popular myths, if you cut a worm in half, only the part with the head will survive. Regeneration in earthworms is a fascinating process, but it's not as magical as some may think. Imagine being able to regrow parts of your body as if nothing ever happened. Is it really possible that Lend-Lease played such an important role in America's growth? The Lend-Lease program, which supplied weapons and food from the U.S. to allies during World War II, was a key element in the country's economic rise. However, few know that, in addition to supporting the Soviet Union and the United Kingdom, the program also included reverse Lend-Lease, whereby allies transferred their naval bases in the Western Hemisphere to the U.S. This granted the U.S. control over the North Atlantic and established it as a naval leader. After the war, with increased industrial production and control over strategic regions, the U.S. emerged as the world's primary economic and military power. Can you imagine? Your blood vessels could wrap around the Earth twice. Have you ever wondered how complex the human circulatory system is? If you laid out all the blood vessels in your body end to end, they would stretch about 96,000 kilometers, enough to wrap around the Earth twice. This intricate network of arteries, veins, and capillaries is vital for transporting blood, oxygen, and nutrients to every part of your body. This amazing feat of nature highlights just how complex and beautifully designed our bodies are. Now that you know this fact, you can marvel even more at how your body works. Did you know that ancient Egyptians created the first calendar? Ancient Egyptians were among the first to develop a calendar based on the cycles of the sun. They divided the year into 3 seasons, each consisting of 4 months. This calendar was created to accurately predict the flooding of the Nile, which was crucial for their agricultural activities. This calendar is still considered one of the greatest scientific achievements of the ancient world, helping people manage time and natural resources. Did you know that a jiffy is an actual unit of time? The term jiffy is not just a figure of speech. It's a real unit of time. In scientific terms, a jiffy is defined as the time it takes light to travel 1 centimeter in a vacuum, which is approximately 33 picoseconds. While we often use the word to refer to something happening quickly, scientists have made it a measurable moment. This fun fact shows that even the quickest of moments can be quantified if you delve deep enough into the mysteries of time. What if I told you there's an island in Japan covered in volcanic ash? Sakurajima Island in Japan is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. Eruptions occur so frequently that a layer of volcanic ash covers the entire island. Local residents have adapted to living in these conditions, and the island even has special machines to clean volcanic ash from the streets. Despite the constant threat, this island is home to thousands of people and a popular tourist destination. Who would have thought that you can see sounds through light? Sounds can not only be heard but also seen. Using special equipment like oscilloscopes, scientists can visualize sound waves, turning them into light pulses. These pulses take on different shapes depending on the frequency and intensity of the sound. The sight is incredible. High frequencies appear as fast, thin lines, while low ones as slow, broad patterns. Technology allows us to see music and sounds, adding a new dimension to how we perceive them. Can you imagine that the moon is slowly drifting away from Earth? Each year, the moon moves about 3.5 centimeters farther away from Earth. This happens due to tidal interactions between the Earth and the moon. Billions of years ago, the moon was much closer, and in billions of years, it may drift out of Earth's gravitational pull altogether. Though this process is incredibly slow, scientists track it using lasers and reflectors left on the moon by the Apollo missions. The origins of the word nurse date back to ancient times. The word nurse has its roots in Latin, where it originally meant to breastfeed. Over time, this word expanded its meaning to include those who care for the sick and help them recover. Today, when we call someone a nurse, we acknowledge their vital role in providing comfort and assistance. Nurses continue to embody the spirit of care, from their ancient origins in nurturing to their modern roles in the healing process. What if I told you that English is a blend of languages? Modern English is a true mosaic, woven with elements from German, French, Scandinavian languages, and many others. Although it is currently the official language of the United Kingdom, this was not always the case. English spread worldwide thanks to the British Empire, and its success is largely due to the vast array of words it has absorbed from different languages, making it easy to communicate and adaptable to diverse cultures. This is why English has become a global language. It turns out the world's smallest reptile is the size of a fingertip. The world's smallest reptile is the leaf chameleon, native to Madagascar. This tiny creature measures only 29 millimeters from nose to tail, smaller than a fingertip. Despite its minuscule size, male leaf chameleons boast bright green and orange patterns, while the females have elegant shades of brown and beige. Discovered in 2012, this remarkable species continues to amaze scientists with its tiny yet colorful existence. You might be surprised to learn about giraffe naps. Giraffes are fascinating creatures, especially when it comes to their sleeping habits. While most of us cherish our long nights of sleep, giraffes have a very different approach. In the wild, they only sleep for about 20 minutes at a time, and sometimes they don't even hit the hay more than a few hours a day. What makes this even more interesting is that they can catch some zoomies while standing up, making them perfectly ready to spring into action if a predator comes by. This unique ability to rest while on their feet is crucial for their survival, as it allows them to stay alert and avoid potential threats. While they can sleep lying down, they only do so in short bursts when they feel safe. This minimal sleep pattern stems from their size. Having long necks and legs makes them vulnerable to dangers in the wild, so short, effective naps help them remain vigilant. So next time you think about a good night's sleep, just remember the giraffe's clever way of managing rest in the wild. Could this really be possible? Elephants mourning their dead? Elephants don't just live in families. They feel them. When a member of the herd dies, elephants often approach the body, gently touching bones with their trunks, staying for hours or even days. They've been observed revisiting grave sites years later, standing silently and displaying clear signs of grief. In life, elephants express joy through trumpeting and rumbling vibrations, which can travel several kilometers underground. They form friendships, recognize themselves in mirrors, and help sick or injured herd mates. Neuroscientists have discovered brain structures in elephants linked to emotional intelligence and empathy, similar to humans. Their memories are legendary, and so is their capacity for compassion. In a world that often underestimates animal emotion, elephants remind us that deep feeling is not exclusive to our species. It thunders across the savanna, one rumble at a time. Here's a wild connection you didn't see coming. A giraffe's tongue is sunproof. A giraffe's tongue is not only impressively long, up to 50 centimeters, it's also a multifunctional tool adapted for life under the sun. Its purplish-black color isn't just unusual, it protects against sunburn. While giraffes spend up to 12 hours a day reaching for thorny acacia leaves, their tongues remain exposed, so the dark pigment acts like built-in sunscreen. The tongue is also prehensile and tough, allowing giraffes to grasp branches, strip leaves, and avoid thorns with ease. Its surface is covered in bristle-like papillae, and its saliva is antibacterial, helping heal cuts and prevent infection. The tongue even plays a role in social grooming and caring for young. Flexible, sun-safe, and strong, it's not just a tongue, it's a savanna survival toolkit in action. Why a day on Venus is longer than its year? Did you know that one day on Venus is longer than an entire Venusian year? Venus rotates around its axis so slowly that it takes about 243 Earth days to complete one rotation. But its orbit around the Sun, lasts only around 225 days. Imagine standing on Venus, watching the Sun rise and set over the course of several months. By the time a Venusian evening arrives, 2 Earth years have passed. This makes Venus one of the most paradoxical planets in our solar system. Why hasn't Ireland's population recovered 160 years after the famine? Imagine a country unable to fully recover its population for more than a century and a half. That's precisely what happened to Ireland after the Great Potato Famine of the mid-19th century. The famine, caused by crop failures, led to the deaths of hundreds of thousands and the mass emigration of millions of Irish people around the world. Even today, 160 years later, Ireland's population is still 2 million less than it was before this tragedy. This incredible demographic puzzle remains a testament to the devastating impact of those events. Believe it or not, licking your elbow is almost impossible. Have you ever tried to lick your elbow? Despite all attempts, most people simply can't do it. The reason lies in anatomy. The length of the arm and the position of the elbow make it impossible for the tongue to reach that point. Of course, there are rare exceptions. People with extraordinary flexibility might surprise their friends by succeeding. But for most of us, it's physically impossible, no matter how hard you try. This fun fact is the perfect opportunity to test your abilities and see if you're anatomically unique. But be careful not to hurt yourself in the process. How much do you think the world's largest burger weighs? In 2017, a Michigan restaurant cooked up the world's biggest burger, weighing in at a whopping 1,164 kilograms. That's over 2,500 pounds of beef. The burger was stacked with 300 pounds of cheese, 150 pounds of lettuce, 150 pounds of onions, and 100 pounds of bacon. It took 10 hours to cook and was served to 350 guests. That's one burger you'll never forget. Is it really true that goldfish only remember for 3 seconds? Forget that old myth. Goldfish actually have much better memories than we give them credit for. Research has shown that goldfish can remember things like feeding times, recognize their owners, and even navigate through mazes. Their memory is far more sophisticated than the commonly believed 3 seconds, and they can retain information for months. So next time you see your goldfish swimming, know they are much smarter than they seem. Did you know that 2 to 3% of people don't need deodorant? Yes, it's true. About 2 to 3% of the population has a genetic mutation that prevents the production of unpleasant body odor associated with sweating. These people can engage in sports and physical activity without worrying about body odor. This happens because they lack the necessary bacteria that break down sweat and create unpleasant smells. This discovery sheds light on the diversity of human genetics and how we perceive body odors. Did you know that monarch butterflies undertake one of the longest migrations on Earth? These amazing insects travel thousands of kilometers each year, migrating from Mexico to the United States and Canada. What's even more incredible is that this journey takes place over several generations. Monarch butterflies begin their migration, lay eggs, and the next generation continues the journey. This incredible relay across generations transforms their migration into a dance that transcends borders, a true wonder of nature. Have you met the world's tattoo king? Lucky Diamond Rich, a vibrant performer from New Zealand, holds the remarkable title of the most tattooed person on Earth. With a passion for body art that's as bold as it is colorful, he has transformed nearly every inch of his body into a living canvas. Imagine this. He has so many tattoos that they accumulate to more than 200% of his skin. How is that even possible, you ask? Well, Lucky has not only covered his entire body with images and designs, but he's also gone back to redesign and add layers to existing tattoos, creating a strikingly intricate tapestry of ink. This dedication to his craft reflects not just a love for art, but also a unique form of self-expression. Lucky's tattoos tell a story, a personal narrative filled with symbols, colors, and meanings that are deeply significant to him. As a performer, he brings this art to life on stage, capturing the imagination of audiences everywhere. He certainly proves that tattoos can go beyond mere decoration. They can be a declaration of identity and creativity. Just imagine if penicillin had been tested on the wrong animal. In 1929, Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin, but its path to becoming the miracle drug of the 20th century almost ended in disaster. Scientists had to test it for safety, and the original plan was to use guinea pigs. But guinea pigs react badly to penicillin. It's toxic to their unique gut flora. Fortunately, researchers chose to test on mice and rabbits instead, which tolerated it well. Had they used guinea pigs, penicillin might have been discarded as dangerous. That twist of fate changed medical history. Penicillin saved millions during World War II and launched the antibiotic era. The wrong test subject could have cost the world decades of progress and countless lives. This moment is a powerful reminder that scientific breakthroughs often hinge on decisions that seem small but prove monumental. Kiwi, the bird that can't fly but rules New Zealand. The kiwi bird is not just a national symbol of New Zealand, it's a true star. Despite having wings, the kiwi can't fly, but that doesn't stop it from being an icon of its country. These small birds are known for their unique appearance and habits. They are nocturnal and use their keen sense of smell to find food. The kiwi is so important to New Zealand that the locals call themselves Kiwi. This proves that even the smallest and most unusual bird can become the symbol of an entire nation. Surprisingly, Oklahoma leads the U.S. in tornadoes. This state experiences the highest frequency of tornadoes per square mile, making it infamous as a main part of Tornado Alley. This region, which includes parts of Texas, Kansas, and Nebraska, witnesses more tornadoes than any other area in the country. With its unique geography, including flat plains and warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico colliding with cool air masses from the Rockies, Oklahoma creates the perfect storm conditions for these powerful weather events. These tornadoes can be fierce, spinning winds that can reach speeds of over 200 miles per hour. If you're a tornado watcher or a thrill seeker, Oklahoma is a hotspot for chasing storms. drawing enthusiasts from around the world who wish to safely experience these natural phenomena. To prepare for the potential danger, local residents have developed a strong community awareness, with many participating in safety drills and investing in storm shelters. So whether you're fascinated by meteorology or just enjoy the adrenaline rush, Oklahoma's tornado scene is one to watch. Did you know that an atomic bomb almost destroyed North Carolina? In 1961, the U.S. Air Force accidentally dropped 2 atomic bombs over North Carolina. One of them went through 5 stages of activation, and only the last step didn't trigger, saving the state from a nuclear catastrophe. Both incidents happened due to issues with the aircraft. This tragedy, which could have changed history, shows just how close we sometimes come to global disaster. Peanuts aren't nuts, they're legumes. You might be surprised to learn that, botanically speaking, peanuts aren't actually nuts. Peanuts belong to the legume family, like peas, beans, and lentils. Unlike true nuts, such as walnuts and almonds, peanuts grow underground and don't have a hard shell enclosing a single seed. A nut, in botanical terms, is a dry fruit with a hard shell, but peanuts don't fit that definition. Even though we often think of them as nuts, they're technically closer to peas and beans, but with a unique taste all their own. Hard to believe, but snakes can sleep with their eyes open. Snakes don't blink because they don't have eyelids. Instead, their eyes are covered by a transparent scale. During sleep, their eyes remain open, giving the impression that they are always watching their surroundings. This feature helps snakes stay alert to threats even while resting. The transparent scale also protects their eyes from dust and dirt, which is especially important for desert and forest dwellers. It's an incredible adaptation that allows them to sense danger even in their sleep. Can you believe the fastest land animal can run at 120 kilometers per hour? The cheetah is nature's sprinting wonder, capable of reaching speeds of up to 120 kilometers per hour, which is about 75 miles per hour. However, its incredible speed is only for short bursts, as the cheetah can maintain this pace for just a few seconds before exhaustion and heat set in. Despite this, its brief but powerful sprint makes it the king of land predators. But if we're talking about speed in general, the absolute champion remains the peregrine falcon, which we discussed in our last video. This bird can dive at speeds exceeding 300 kilometers per hour. Could this really be true? All gold ever mined fits in 3 pools. Despite its glittering presence in culture and commerce, gold is astonishingly rare. Every ounce ever extracted by humans totals around 187,000 metric tons, enough to fill just 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Most of it sits in vaults, central banks, jewelry, and high-tech electronics. The metal's appeal lies in its unique properties. It doesn't corrode, it's easy to shape, and it's stunning to look at. Ancient civilizations from Egypt to the Inca worshipped it. Modern economies still hoard it. And yet, for all its symbolic weight, gold is surprisingly compact in physical volume. It's a reminder that rarity, not abundance, drives value, and that the treasures we fight over can sometimes fit in a room. Is it really true that Diet Coke floats? You might be surprised to learn that a regular can of Coke sinks while its diet counterpart stays buoyant in water. Why does this happen? It all comes down to density, which is how heavy something is for its size. Regular Coke is packed with sugar, which adds weight and makes it denser than water. When the can hits the water, the weight pulls it down. Conversely, Diet Coke is sweetened with artificial sweeteners that are much lighter, making the overall can less dense than water. This lighter density allows Diet Coke to bob on the surface, defying expectations. If you've ever tossed a can into a pool or bucket, this little experiment can turn into a fun science lesson. Gather some friends, fill up a container, and see for yourself. This quirky difference not only highlights the fascinating principles of density, but also showcases how small changes in ingredients can lead to surprising and delightful outcomes in our everyday products. Did you know chickens are descendants of tyrannosaurs? The next time you see a chicken, think about this. You're looking at a distant descendant of the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex. Scientific research has shown that chickens and some other modern birds share more traits with these prehistoric predators than any other living animal. This genetic link between chickens and dinosaurs may seem strange, but it's yet another fascinating example of how evolution shapes species. Who would have thought that the mighty T-Rex would one day evolve into a humble chicken? You'll never look at chickens the same way again. Can you imagine that trees can make it rain? Yes, trees not only produce oxygen, but also help form rain clouds. This happens through a process called transpiration. When trees release water vapor through their leaves, the vapor rises into the atmosphere, where it condenses and forms rain clouds. This natural process shows just how essential trees are to maintaining the water cycle on our planet. Every forest is not only a source of oxygen, but also a key part of the water cycle, without which Earth would be a very different place. How did a book about cheese conquer the world, even in places where it's rarely eaten? In the 1990s, Spencer Johnson's book, Who Moved My Cheese, was published. It was a motivational fable in which cheese symbolized what people want to achieve in life. The book became wildly popular worldwide, even in countries where cheese is not part of the traditional diet, such as China. This was surprising as the book wasn't about real cheese but metaphorical cheese, which became a symbol of change and personal goals. The message about adapting to change proved to be universal, and the book sold millions of copies globally. Did you know that the Phi Islands survived a devastating tsunami but retained their beauty? Despite the horrific destruction caused by the tsunami in 2004, the Phi Islands in Thailand have maintained their unique and surreal charm. These islands became world famous after the filming of The Beach starring Leonardo DiCaprio, where the stunning cliffs and tropical beaches attract thousands of tourists each year. Even now, despite all the challenges, Phi remains a symbol of natural beauty and is an ideal destination for relaxation, diving, and excursions. Why does fish rain actually happen? In the city of Yoro, Honduras, an unusual phenomenon occurs every year: rain of fish. This strange natural event happens during the heavy summer storms when hundreds of live fish fall to the ground along with the rain. Locals call it lluvia de peces and believe it to be a divine blessing. However, scientists suggest that strong water spouts form in the atmosphere, lifting fish from nearby bodies of water and depositing them kilometers away. It's one of those phenomena that remind us how surprising and unpredictable nature can be. Can you imagine that bananas are actually berries? Despite their shape and size, bananas are, botanically speaking, berries. It all comes down to how they develop from a flower. But here's the twist. Strawberries, which we often think of as berries, technically aren't. Although bananas look more like a fruit, their internal structure and growth process mark them as true berries. So, next time you enjoy a banana, remember you're eating a bona fide berry. What do you think makes Monument Valley one of America's most majestic natural wonders? Located in Utah, Monument Valley truly impresses with its natural grandeur. This plateau, featuring sandstone formations that can reach heights of up to 1,000 feet, has become a symbol of the Wild West and has been extensively featured in films, creating an iconic image of the American wilderness. These natural monuments, shaped by wind and time, represent more than just a landscape. They are a picturesque chronicle of nature, narrating the millennia-long processes of Earth's formation. Can you guess which insect is the heaviest in the world? The giant weta, native to New Zealand, holds the title for the heaviest insect in the world. This massive bug can weigh up to 70 grams, more than a sparrow. Wetas can grow up to 10 centimeters long and are truly giant compared to typical crickets. This insect is the heavyweight champion of its species and continues to amaze even the most experienced entomologists with its colossal size. Surprisingly but true, the wave in Arizona attracts tourists from around the world with its unique natural formation. Located on the border with Utah, the wave is a remarkable sandstone feature that has become a symbol of natural beauty and stunning landscapes. This site is known for its wave-like rock structures, painted in vibrant shades of red, orange, and yellow. Travelers from across the globe visit to see this place, and many photographers consider it one of the most beautiful and photographed spots on Earth. Can you believe coconuts kill more people than sharks? Sharks may star in our nightmares, but coconuts are the real silent killers. Every year, an estimated 150 people die from falling coconuts, 3 times the global average of fatal shark attacks. A coconut can fall from heights of 25 meters and hit speeds of over 50 km/h, delivering the force of a brick from a rooftop. These accidents are especially common in tropical resorts, where hammocks and beach chairs sit temptingly beneath swaying palms. Unlike sharks, coconuts don't need teeth to do damage. The irony: one is feared for drama, the other is ignored for familiarity. It's a reminder that real danger often hides in the ordinary, not the exotic. And the next time you relax under a coconut tree, a little awareness might go a long way. Goosebumps, an evolutionary artifact from our ancestors. Have you ever wondered why we get goosebumps? This phenomenon is linked to our ancient ancestors. Long ago, when humans and animals had more body hair, this reaction helped them appear larger and more intimidating to predators, while also retaining heat in cold weather. When tiny muscles at the base of hair follicles contract, the hair stands up, creating a fluffy effect. Today, goosebumps are a leftover from our evolutionary past, but they no longer serve the important function they once did. Nowadays, goosebumps are more often triggered by cold or strong emotions. So next time you feel goosebumps, remember that they are a part of your ancient defense system. Why is there a village in China where nearly everyone lives past 100 years? In the Chinese village of Bama, nearly every other resident lives to be 100 years old or more. Scientists believe it's due to the clean air, mineral-rich water, and a diet rich in local herbs and vegetables. The locals also lead active lives, working physically well into old age. Tourists come here hoping to learn the secrets of longevity, but the villagers say the key is harmony with nature and a positive outlook. Did you know that a duck's quack actually has an echo? Despite the popular myth that a duck's quack doesn't echo, that's not true. It's not that ducks lack an echo, it's that our ears sometimes fail to catch it. The physics of sound works the same as for other sounds, but due to the frequency of the quack and how it spreads, it may seem quieter or barely noticeable. Next time you're near a duck, listen closely. You might catch its quack echo sounding like it's in stereo. It's nature's version of a whispering gallery, but with ducks. Imagine for a moment that Machu Picchu is not just ruins, but a symbol of Inca greatness. Nestled high in the Peruvian mountains, Machu Picchu is one of the most famous historical sites in the world. Built by the Incas in the 15th century, this remarkable city was abandoned and forgotten for centuries until its rediscovery in 1911. Machu Picchu has since become a symbol of the great Inca civilization and one of the most important archaeological sites in South America.